It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion. This is for Monday, the 1st of June. I'm Michael Groff. Welcome to the start of meteorological summer. This represents the 3 warmest months of the year for most of the northern hemisphere, and it's going to feel like it around here for a while, with temperatures well above average again and staying just a couple of degrees shy of records for Wednesday and Thursday. There will be a little bit of relief from the heat later in the week and as we head into the weekend. And of course, we'll ask if that's going to be accompanied by any rain, either here in the valley or across the state. Let's get into it first. The ALMANAC from yesterday. To close out the month of May, we were sizzling 107 degrees the afternoon high, 83 the very warm morning low. There you see the normals up to 173. And outside now, here at 8:30 a.m., the sun is shining and we're at 88 degrees already at Sky Harbor. Dew points at 41, humidity 19%. Wind from the northwest at 10 and the barometer 29.90 inches and rising. All right, temperatures out there right now. 74 is the cool spot at Fort McDowell, 78 Sun City West, 88 in Arcadia, 90 in Avondale, 91 Collier, 92 in Scottsdale. The upper air look, we've got a ridge here across the southwest, and that will continue to be, for the most part, the dominant weather feature. But off to our west, you see a shortwave trough out there that will form into an upper low as we go through the week. And that will provide at least a small degree of mid and high level moisture across the eastern half of Arizona and daily chances for at least isolated thunderstorms in the eastern mountains. Here's the watch warning map, and it's the old familiar friend there. The excessive heat watch is in effect from 10 a.m. Wednesday through 8 p.m. Thursday to include the valley. Much of Maricopa and Pinal County in that watch area. And so temperatures are expected to exceed 110 degrees once again on those days. Convective outlook for today, a marginal risk of severe storms way up north to include Billings, Bozeman, and Lewiston, Montana. Here in Arizona, we're in the green over the eastern half of the state, so at least a few thunderstorms are possible. And we'll outline the risk to us in a moment. And it's the 1st of June. It's the official start of the tropical season, although it's kind of gotten a head start, at least in the Atlantic basin. And we're looking for another storm out here. There's a wave that's about to move out into the Gulf of Campeche. The National Hurricane Center has defined this area as having an 80% chance of development over the next 48 hours. And looking at some of the modeling on this, where this thing is going to go, still a little all over the place. Some models kind of just have it meandering around the bay there and ultimately moving back into Mexico, but many bring it north to the Gulf Coast, Texas, Louisiana, maybe even further east into parts of Mississippi. And of course, it's just too early to call where this is going to go and how intense it may get. So you have to keep an eye on this. All right, precipitation for the next 7 days. No rain expected here in the valley, and not a whole lot, quite candidly, statewide. Some isolated totals of generally less than 1/10 of an inch. Perhaps along the southern border or over in the eastern mountains, generally the higher terrain to the north and east of Phoenix. We'll outline what's going on, though, as we check the models. We'll start with the GFS. The 06Z run valid at 2 o'clock this afternoon. All right, ridge out here across much of the continental United States. A trough, a developing low off to the west. Kind of a south-southwesterly flow aloft. So down at the surface, we'll start the day out sunny. We'll become partly cloudy by this afternoon. And yes, isolated thunderstorms will develop over the eastern mountains. As has been the case for the last few days, a couple of those outflow boundaries could try to get into parts of Pinal County, maybe try to infringe upon eastern Maricopa County. I really don't think we're going to see any blowing dust or anything here in Phoenix, but the possibility is not completely zero. I outlined that on the potential hazards graphic at the beginning of the video. And so we'll stick with that. Maybe some blowing dust someplace later this afternoon or tonight. Otherwise, highs this afternoon, pretty toasty, 102 to 105, although not as hot as we have been. Tonight, the skies are partly cloudy, maybe even mostly cloudy at times, especially coming off of the graphic here with the 3-kilometer NAM. Overnight lows will mostly drop into the 70s and low 80s, and yes, there could be those gusty winds to watch for in the East Valley. Tomorrow, the skies partly cloudy, a little warmer, highs 105 to 108. And on Wednesday, our ridge continues to intensify. Isolated thunderstorms over the eastern mountains. And again, maybe some blowing dust someplace pretty close to the valley. High temperatures 108 to 111 for both Wednesday and Thursday. Thus, our excessive heat watch is in effect, likely upgraded to a warning sometime today. Now, as we go to Friday, here comes our upper low beginning to move toward the Southern California coast, and indications coming off the GFS for widely scattered thunderstorms over the eastern half of the state. And again, one or two of those could get pretty close to the valley. The preponderance of the models do keep us dry, but I will tell you that even though the GFS is an outlier, it has been the better performing model in handling these upper lows the last week or so. So we'll at least look for a few storms over the higher terrain of northern and eastern Arizona away from the valley, but one or two storms could get close enough, I guess, to give us some blowing dust. We'll watch for it. High temperatures will be backing off too. I think we'll lower to around 102 to 105 on Friday, and then Saturday, the upper heights continue to plunge with this system moving on past. High temperatures likely staying at or maybe just below the century mark. How about that? Then here's Sunday, and again, high temperatures will still be in the upper 90s to about 103. The sky is sunny, and the air mass will dry out in response to more of a southwesterly flow. Now, here we go to a week from today. This is Monday, the 8th of June, and a couple of features of note on the board here. Ridge in the east, big trough out here in the west heading into the Great Basin. The heights are coming down. Temperatures would likely be a little bit below normal. And our tropical feature that's out there over the Bay of Campeche, well, this deterministic run of the GFS has it moving onto the Texas coast, somewhere near the Sabine Pass at that time. Obviously, this is just one model run, so this is by no means an official forecast, just an idea that's on the table. We would be dry here, and high temperatures, again, just a little shy of normal. All right, going out 10 days to the end of the period, this is Wednesday, the 10th of June. Ridge in the east, ridge building along the west coast, a big upper low over North Dakota with some strong storms out ahead of it and some pretty cold air washing in behind that. We would be under a dry northwesterly flow and temperatures pretty seasonal. All right, let's check out precipitation coming off of the GFS ensemble. And I thought I'd show you this because most of the members try to bring in at least a trace or a couple hundredths of an inch of rain sometime over the next couple of days, a few of them throughout the week. And even though the overall mean generally is pretty light, under a few hundredths of an inch, any precipitation this time of year in the heart of the dry season is significant. And it's even more so that the GFS ensemble, every single member tries to bring in, or just about every member tries to bring in some precipitation. So something to consider there. Even though I'm keeping our official forecast dry, would not be surprised if an isolated spot somewhere in the valley got some rain at some point this week. All right, temperatures off of the national blend of models. 106 is what it has us at today, 108 tomorrow. And look at that, 111 and 112 for Wednesday and Thursday before we see a dip this weekend. Some of the models suggest we get even cooler than what's shown here for Saturday. All right, that's going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video back here tomorrow morning. If you enjoy these videos, be sure to subscribe, like, share, and click that notification bell so that whenever we post a brand new video, you'll be alerted. Your comments, questions, and suggestions always encouraged as well. I thank you so much for watching. As always, you guys be safe out there and have yourselves a fantastic Monday. Oh, and don't forget to drink plenty of water and watch your kids around the swimming pool. We'll see you tomorrow.